Hello everybody, hope everyone's having a great Thursday today. So far so good for me. I've been thinking about a few things that I wanted to share because they've been on my mind pretty much all morning. So that's my clue that it's something that I need to get off my mind, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So typically I talk about narcissism on my Instagram page and so far on my YouTube page as well. But today I wanted to talk about toxic people in general. We're typically saying that we need to rid ourselves of narcissistic people because of how damaging they are. But sometimes there's a lot of toxic people in our lives that also do a lot of damage, and that we also need to kick out of our lives. Narcissists are not the only people that are detrimental to our health and our well-being. There's a lot of toxic people who are constantly putting us down, constantly telling us that we're not good enough, that what we do is not good enough, that our dreams or goals are not good enough. Basically, these people are people who are very toxic in a way where if you stay around those people, you will never reach your full potential. Because you will never reach your full potential when you're constantly being told that you're not good enough, that your wants and desires are not good enough, that you will never amount to anything. Or even if they don't say it in those words, people who are constantly throwing shade, hating, even if it's joking. Watch out for those people who are constantly joking, because if it's constant, there's something underneath there that's making them constantly joke about, sneak dissing. Let's just put it that way. Sneak dissing. That's what they call it. That's what the young people say. I'm young too. I'm only 39. So, but anyhow, people who are constantly throwing shade, being negative, putting your job down, putting you down, just people who are constantly finding negative things to say about you. You will never reach your full potential if you keep those people around. Why? Because when you're constantly being told that your art is not good enough, if you're an artist, if your communication skills are not good enough and you're a communicator, you're trying to be a communicator, if these people are constantly putting you down, how are you going to grow? How are you going to get to the next step when you are surrounding yourself with negative people? It makes absolutely no sense. You will never reach that next level if you surround yourself with people who are constantly putting your work down, or whatever steps you're making to get to where you want to be. If they're constantly putting you down, you're not going to get to explore your best self if you're constantly hearing criticism left and right. In order for you to grow, even if you're being criticized, the people who care about you are going to do it in a way where you become better, because they do it in a way where they're critical without being hurtful, where they're critical without being harmful to your self-esteem and to your growth. So people don't necessarily need to be narcissistic or narcissist for them not to be good enough to be in your life. And sometimes that means kicking friends out of your life, and sometimes that means kicking family out of your life. Don't let people's negativity cloud you or keep you from reaching your best self. And let me tell you, if that's all you surround yourself with, just because they're family or just because they're good friends of 25 years, 30 years, you are going to keep yourself from growing. Why? Because if you're constantly hearing how you're not good enough and the things that you lack, and how don't go into that industry because that industry is not for you, you're not going to find a job in that industry, you're not going to find growth in that. If you're constantly hearing those things, that's doubt in your mind. That creates doubt. It doesn't matter how confident you think you are. At the end of the day, you know, it's like a child. If a child grows up hearing every single day, you're not good enough to be a model, you're not good enough to do this, you're not smart enough to do this, you're not this, you're not whatever, what do you expect of that child? That child is going to grow up thinking, you know what, I'm not good enough for that. It's the same thing for us as adults. We are affected by the things we constantly hear. We are affected by those things, whether you want to believe it or not. Having negative people, poisonous people, unappreciative people in your life who are constantly telling you you're not doing enough, you are not whatever, just negativity all around. You need to get away from that. And you know, a lot of people will tell you, well, that's family, you need to stick to family no matter what. I'm here to tell you that's an absolute lie. Family will be the number one in a lot of cases who will knock you down, who will kill your self-esteem, who will make you feel like you are unworthy and incapable and uninteresting and just all of the bad things you can think of. Sometimes family will be the number one people who will do that, and they will keep you from growing, and they will keep you from achieving your goals and desires if it doesn't fit the picture that they have for you. From, you know, for a lot of families, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, if you're not some type of, you know, professional, business professional, high-ranking officer, whatever they have in their minds that you should be, if you're not that, then whatever goals and dreams that you have is not good enough. How unfair is that? To poets, to writers, to musicians, to dancers, to creative people who want to do other things with their lives. Your family will kill your dreams. If you want to be a poet, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a photographer, if you want to be a dancer, if you want to be a blogger, there's so many things that don't fit the picture perfect image of what a family may want for you. And you being who you are is a threat to them, and they take it personal. And they don't see growth in what you do and who you are. What good is it for you to keep those people around you? How will you ever become a good anything if you have a family and friends who are constantly doubting you and putting that little seed of doubt in your mind? Sometimes you need to let those people out of your life. Let them go, let them be. And you continue to be the flower, the blossoming flower that you are. And that is why you need to believe in yourself, regardless of what you hear. Whatever excites you, do it. Whatever makes you happy, do it. Whatever, you know, thing or interest you want to do, continue to do it. Do not let people keep you out of doing something that you want to do just because it doesn't fit their ideals of what you should be doing or what they think you're good at. Only you know what makes you happy. Do not allow negative people. And sometimes they're not negative. Sometimes they may want the best for you, but they don't understand that what they want for you and what you want for yourself are two different things. And you need to go after what you want to do, regardless of how it may appear to other people. I know this is hard for a lot of people to accept, because you want to keep your family around and you want to keep longtime friends around. But listen, if these people are bringing you down and making you feel like you're not good enough, and your ideas are not good enough, and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations that you have for yourself are too small for them, these people do not belong in your life. They do not belong in your life. I am telling you, sometimes you need to be alone to grow, to find yourself, to find what it is that you really need to be happy, and to go after it. You will not have the strength and the motivation to do the things you want to do if you are around people who are doubting you, who don't believe in you, who are constantly telling you you're not good enough, you're not gonna make it, you are worthless, you are X, Y, and Z, you are not gonna make it. It's not just narcissists that you need to get away from. You need to get away from anyone who threatens your happiness on a constant basis. I'm not here to say that people who love you and care about you are not going to sometimes criticize you. Yes, they will. Sometimes people who love you, oftentimes, are going to tell you, hey, I don't think this is good for you. You shouldn't be doing that. But like I said, they're going to do it in a loving way. They're going to do it in a way that's not going to hurt you. And it's not going to be constant put downs. They're going to say what they have to say, and they're going to let you be you. Ultimately, the people who love you want you to be yourself, and they will accept you for being you. This is so hard when you come from a family of narcissists, because you are raised to second guess yourself. It's so sad. But oftentimes, even if you're not coming from a family of narcissists, just a family of a lot of toxicity and people who grew up in toxicity. It's just toxicity, toxic thoughts and beliefs and patterns that go from one family generation to the next, one generation to the next. This is why it's so important for you to follow your instincts. Follow that voice, your intuition that tells you, you know what? I'm not being treated correctly. I don't feel loved. I don't feel the love in this situation. Follow that voice. I made a post on my Instagram earlier about knowing what you mean to people by the way that they react to your pain. And this is so true. When people care about you, they're going to react to your pain in a way that's comforting and loving. When people don't care about you, they're going to react to your pain by indifference, or they're going to act to your pain by blaming you for your pain. So be very, very careful, or keep an eye on how people react to your pain. For example, if somebody hurts you and you let them know, hey, what you did really, really hurt me. What you said, what you did, whatever it may be, that situation, the way things went down hurt me. and their reaction is, well, I'm sorry if you took it that way. I really do love you, but if you take it that way, that's your problem. Be very careful with those responses, because those responses are oftentimes, more often than not, are coming from people who don't really care about how you feel. The people who love you and care about you, they seek to comfort you, to love you, and not just say that they love you. They want you to feel that you are loved. They want you to feel their love. So when a person is indifferent to your pain, there's no love there. There's really no love there. People who love you want you to feel loved, and they want you to feel cared for. And if you're not feeling that way, they're going to ask, what can I do to make you feel my love? What can I do to make this better? So to wrap it up, there's a lot of people who should not have a place in your life, even if they're not narcissists. Toxic is toxic. Rid yourself of anyone who threatens your peace and your joy. Go after your dreams. Have faith in yourself, and stay in touch with that inner voice, your intuition. It will never mess you up. And that was it. That was my message for today. Hope everyone has a lovely Thursday. See you guys later. Bye-bye.